Good afternoon to you. Thank you for spending your afternoon with us. This is your daytime update as we continue keeping you abreast of all the day's breaking and developing stories. The communications regulator has been interdicted by the Pretoria High Court from going ahead with the spectrum auction, which was scheduled to take place at the end of March. This comes after Telkom applied to the court to halt the auction, claiming the process was flawed. The ICASA auction would allow for new entrants as well as provide operators such as MTN as well as VODACOM to expand their services like 5G and bring down mobile data prices. Joining us now to talk about the ramifications for the spectrum auction is the ICASA spokesperson, Mr. Baseka Maleka. A very good afternoon to you, Mr. Maleka, and good to have you with us. Now, Telkom is challenging your allocation process. They've called it irrational and unlawful in part because you are auctioning spectrum that would not be available for immediate use. Is it the case that you would have to perhaps remove some frequency from existing radio and broadcast stations to reallocate it?
Thank you so much, Tammy, and thank you to the listeners of Africa. Telkom has the right to state that the process is irrational and unlawful. I mean, it's what they're saying. However, these are substantive matters that will be discussed further in court, and the court shall make such determination after they say they're correct or they're not correct, but we will be going to court to canvass all these issues there.
The fact that the spectrum that you are wanting to auction will not be immediately available?
Well, those are the issues that were canvassed in court, and we received an interdict yesterday to say the process can be stopped. And remember, the interdict simply means that the process cannot continue, meaning that the auction process cannot continue. It does not deal with the merits of the issue. So in the review application, that's because the ICASA Council has taken a decision to appeal the decision to interdict it with regards to this particular process.
Now, Baseka, the other mobile operators have also challenged your process because it would then exclude them from bidding for the more valuable high-frequency bandwidth that would enable them to roll out the 5G technology. What is your response to this?
You see, this is in reference to the MTN matter. And on that case as well, Tammy, it's unfortunate that we are unable to comment further on this question because this has not been heard in court. This matter is sub judice and it was meant to take place in the next few days. So it's really difficult to enter into that discussion as to whether they will not be allowed to bid and whatever or not be allowed. So it's a matter that is still before the courts. So we are unable to give a comment on that until this matter has gone to. Our processes are well thought through, and industry players are always participating in our processes. And the same way they participated in all these other processes that led to the publication of the ITAs that are currently being interdicted. And in actual fact, the delay on this particular process cannot be attributed to ICASA, but industry stakeholders who challenge to seek to review ICASA's processes through litigation. I mean, you'll remember that in 2016, ICASA attempted to license the spectrum which is almost similar process. And we were taken to court, and the process was also interdicted. This time around, history has repeated itself. And then, as stated in our media statement, we've seen that Telkom was one of the litigants in 2016, and it is the major litigant in this particular case. So those are the issues that you must look into. But at the end of the day, ICASA wants to make sure that consumers benefit from this licensing process. Data costs are high, and for as long as there is this interdict, all consumers will continue to bear the brunt of higher data costs. The competition is not address those issues through this particular process. So we look forward to the next processes because ICASA has decided to appeal this interdict.
Now, Baseka, the spectrum allocation is 10 years in the making, and there are some in the industry who say